Today, we are going to show you how to build a home buying budget without forgetting hidden costs that catch so many buyers off guard, guys. This is a big deal. There are additional costs related to buying your first home or your second home, and we're going to cover those things right now. One of the biggest mistakes that I see, especially with first-time home buyers, is the lack of savings for a down payment, or they just have the down payment money and they think they're ready to go. And unfortunately, that is not the case. The truth is that's really only part of the story. Here's what I tell every single client that I have the pleasure of working with on day one. You don't just want to budget for a down payment. You need to budget and keep in mind all of the related expenses to buying your first house. That includes lender fees, title policy, although the seller typically covers that, but escrow fees, home inspection costs, that's around 400, 500 bucks, appraisal, 650 to 750, moving expenses, utility deposits, all kinds of extra things that come into play that most people don't think about. You don't want to be house poor, guys, when you buy your first place. In the Austin market, for example, closing costs can typically run around 2 to 3% of the purchase price. A lot of real estate agents won't even mention that, and neither will the lender, quite frankly. So if you're buying a $500,000 home, for example, that is going to be another roughly 10 to 15K. And most buyers don't even really think about this. So super important. That's why I have built a complete budget calculator that I use to work with every client before we go out and start looking at homes, before you start salivating over a place that is like 600,000 bucks when you can really only afford something that's maybe 475 or 550. So we want to know exactly where every dollar is going before you get emotional about a house. We've all been there before. So because you fall basically in love with a house, it's not necessarily going to be logically financial to make it work unless you work on the calculator. So that's it. I remember working with a buyer several years ago when I was kind of first in Austin. And she was absolutely convinced that she was ready to buy. She wasn't, unfortunately, but she had done all the math herself and had worked really hard to save money for a down payment. And that's all well and good. But the problem is she had only calculated down payment money instead of principal, interest, taxes, insurance, PITI. And so she really had only factored in the down payment. She was so excited, enthusiastic. I felt bad, but I wanted to bring value to the relationship and make sure that she had all her T's crossed and her I's dotted. She was really, in a nutshell, she ended up being about $10,000 short of where she really needed to be. It could have been a really stressful surprise if we hadn't figured out weeks before closing, but we caught it. We caught it early, and instead of her being all stressed out, she was super appreciative and grateful for the knowledge that I shared with her. She kind of modified her savings a little bit, and we ended up pushing the closing, and we got her first house a few months after we had anticipated the original closing. The sellers were cool with it, and it worked out beautifully. So that is a much better way to do it. You don't want to close and have like 600 bucks left in your checking account. That's stressful. So here's the lesson. The home buying process gets a whole lot easier when you take the time proactively and do the math up front, honestly, from day one. That's exactly the way that you want to do it. I would be more than happy to help you and walk you through that process. Count every single dollar first, then go find your dream house. If you're thinking about buying a home in the Austin area, even if that's on your radar 6 months from now or a year from now, I would love to help you. Let's do this together, guys. Thank you for helping me build my YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Let's go.